Welcome to the How-To series. This how-to is about teaching early childhood learners to ask for help. Asking for help is an important communication skill for young learners to effectively and appropriately seek out assistance from others. Some of the children you will see will not have a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorders. However, the examples all depict strategies and teaching practices that can benefit all students. Teaching students how to ask for help is one of the most important communication skills that preschool students with autism can learn. This skill will help them to independently get attention and support from staff and peers, and can prevent potential triggers that might otherwise lead to frustration and escalate into problem behavior. Additionally, asking for help is one of the initial self-determination skills that students will acquire that will allow them to empower themselves toward independence and choice throughout their lives. So now that we know that asking for help is a priority for our classrooms, what next? Well, as we've discussed with other kinds of functional communication, there are many ways to ask for help. Of course, a student might simply say help or I need help. Other students with ASD might use a help card that he or she can hand to the teacher to get attention. A student can also use sign language to indicate asking for help. Some students might use picture exchange systems or a communication device to ask for help. No matter what mode of communication a student uses, be sure to provide attention and social praise for all their attempts in asking for help. A big part of teaching students to ask for help is about setting up the opportunities for them to practice it with support from staff if needed. This requires planning, both the opportunities that students will be in situations where they may need help, and in structuring the environment and materials students use so that those opportunities come up and staff or trained peers are available in the moment to grant their request for help. When starting out, motivation plays a big role. Consider starting with an activity that is motivating for your young learner and that they know the majority of what to do. Then, deny access to part of the activity or perhaps a critical piece that they may need to complete the activity. Of course, we want to make sure that the student has the means of communicating and is supported by staff so that the student does not become frustrated. Let's watch our first video. In this video, you will see a student asking his peer for help with a juice pouch during lunchtime. Watch for how and when the teacher prompts him through the process of asking for help so that the communication attempt is successful, while also giving him as much independence as possible.
Christian, asking Mia for help.
Me? Open this? Oh, yeah.
Let's see if he'll ask you for help today.
We can go outside today. Why? Yeah.
Got work to do today. No, you don't like this one. It's got peaches in it. Orange.
See, you can do it, Christian.
Is that your one?
Here. Oh. Mom.
Yes, that's yours.
Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Can you open, please?
What did you see? Notice how the teacher provided support to the student while also giving him independence and allowing the two peers to interact with each other. Training peers to be models and communication partners is a good way to practice in a way that is engaging, natural, and promoting generalization. Did you also see and hear another request for help at the end of the video? Persistence is an important part of both communication and self-advocacy. Let's watch a few more videos about asking for help. As you watch these videos, pay attention to both the modes of communication that the student is using and the settings that he's practicing them in.
You need some help? Help. Good.
It'll be easier.
Okay, you're trying that by yourself.
We need help.
Okay, thanks for asking. Want help? Help. Good. Help.
I know.
That's good. You like it.
As you can see, asking for help is a skill that should be practiced and supported through the school day environment. Planning opportunities in advance and making sure that those attempts are shaped and reinforced quickly will help build the emerging skill. To review, teaching students how to ask for help is a critical communication skill that can also be challenging for students with ASD and the teachers that support them. Ensuring that all students have a means of getting help or attention can prevent triggers that would otherwise lead to frustration and may have caused problem behavior. It is important to support students' communication attempts and reinforce their requests for help, while also building independent, self-advocating students.